Hey, this is Mike from Alto Music. How are you all doing? So we're here today to figure out the Space Echo. There's the RE-201, which is probably the most famous of the vintage ones. Came out in 1974, 1 year after Roland became a thing. And we have right here the RE-2, which is essentially this big old box and a pedalboard friendly, bulletproof, familiar Roland Boss box. Now, this works on tape. It's different from a lot of the other tape machines that are out there. It has free-flowing tape that runs over 3 different heads rather than moving a head back and forth to get varying delay sounds. It delivers an awesome amount of reverb or a little bit of reverb and anywhere in the middle. Let's check out that sound first. So, mode selector set to reverb only. I got a VU meter, making sure I'm not going into the red, which will happen pretty quick on these. You got to watch. It's old technology. You can already hear how much reverb's on there. Bass control, treble control, and reverb volume, which is how much of the reverb is coming in with the dry mix. None right here. And as I turn up, more and more. And there's actually more. More reverb than you'd ever need. Can't imagine ever needing any more reverb than that, but all right. So, switching over to the mode control again, we can start to roll in the echo section. 3 tape heads, 3 different kinds of echo. Short, a little longer still. Number 4 introduces a little bit of reverb and echo at the same time. The remaining modes, which is up to 11, more and more echo and more volume. Goes right over the top, from almost inaudible to very usable in very moderate circumstances to so far over the top it came from outer space. We do think there might be some Roswell technology. We couldn't get a hold of Tom DeLong to let us know for sure. We'll try to get back to you on that. All right, so mode number 1. This is for all you slapback guys. I got the volume about 6 o'clock, 12 o'clock, sorry about that. Intensity and rate cut down pretty low. That's where we always want with slapback. We want a real tight, quick action. And as we turn it up, things only intensify. Something you might find in the 80s, right? And as we mix in with the reverb, turn up the intensity and the rate. actually get to a spot where Scotty's able to warp us out of here just in time. There you go. So that's the old school Roland Space Echo. Completely beloved, made from 1974 to about 1990. Very hardy tape machine. Probably the most roadworthy tape machine ever made. But it's kind of bulky. It's kind of hard to get tape for. And no matter how bulky it is and tough, nowhere near as tough as a bulletproof Boss pedal. So let's do some comparison here and see if we can get the sounds out of this tiny little unit as we can out of the big old daddy. All right. So can the bulletproof Roland Boss enclosure make the same sounds as the old big daddy with all the tape in it? Well, let's find out. It's set up almost the same way. We have one mode control, just like our 11-position mode control in the center. And we've got concentric knobs, roll on the inside and roll on the outside, that replace the 3 reverb knobs and the 3 echo knobs. For echo, we have the entirely same setup. And for reverb, we have bass and treble, which is replaced by a single tone control and a wow and flutter, which will duplicate the age of the tape, how much wobble and out of tuneness, and it's actually not necessarily bad sounding. Some of that unpredictableness is what we love about these old things. All right, so on the little box, let's see what kind of reverb we can get out of here. We're gonna start with a good amount and climb it up from there. Sounds promising. Now let's move the wow and flutter in a little bit. See if we can come in for a landing. That's pretty impressive. It's feeding on its own head that it doesn't even have. We've dialed in somewhere between a slapback and a slower echo that you might use for any kind of music. Let's hear what that sounds like. Seems to be able to get the same kind of range you can out of the RE-201 in a much smaller unit. Let's see what we got. Space Echo RE-2 seems to be able to get just about anything you can out of the RE-201. Legendary, everyday usable. Not much difference in between the two of them sound-wise. And I'd highly recommend this. If you have to have the RE-201 home for your studio, by all means, don't let us stop you. But if you want to take one out on the road or out on the gigs in your pedal board, the RE-2 is an excellent choice. The Roland Space Echo RE-2. Everything Big Daddy has in a small enclosure. Also runs out stereo, double inputs, double outputs. It's all there, baby.